Welcome to my weekly blog, or should I say, Cari Fratelli Sorelli, which is the only phrase in Italian that I know, and it means it's a greeting, it's dear brothers and sisters, and it's the only thing I know, despite the fact I'm going to Rome next week. And that's why this blog has been delayed slightly, because obviously my next weekly blog will be done live in Italy. And that means you won't be able to see it until I come back. So it's going to be delayed slightly, so I sort of shunted everything up, so to speak. Speaking of videos, you may also have been aware that I didn't cover the last two UFC events. The first event I really didn't cover, but the second event I did and just didn't manage to get the predictions up on time. There have been some changes, and I'm probably repeating what I'm going to say in that video anyway, but the thing is that things have changed with me in terms of hosting stuff like that on the forum, and so I don't need to spend quite so much time on it, which is probably for the best since, well, the UFC are producing them almost every week, so I can't spend as much time as I'd like to doing that sort of thing. Therefore, I'm going back to the predictions in brief sort of formula for everything apart from numbered events, except I might have to do that for this numbered event this next week because of course I'm in a bit of a rush getting ready for my trip, my Romani Eterna trip, or RAT for short. This first, we are now into the Vernal Holiday, so I'm off for 2 weeks, which is fantastic because the weather has just turned extremely nice. Now, this first half of the week has been spent, or is being spent, sorting out the house. There was a lot of sorting I did earlier on in the year when I was going to put stuff in the loft, and of course that never happened. So I needed to re-go through that sort of stuff, find home for the stuff I wanted to keep. And yesterday I spent most of my time taking stuff I didn't want to keep to the charity shops. Got one more box to go and that's that done. Then I wanted to tackle my garden because, as you know, with it being nice and warm now, you know, the vernal mood is that everything should grow. And whilst that's lovely, that includes the weeds, which I had to sort of dig out. So I sorted that out and planted some of the some of the pansies and stuff that I got on my birthday, because of course this week has also been my birthday week. So I want to thank about the 50 people, almost, on YouTube, who actually, you know, posted on my page, sent me well wishes. I think I did manage to respond to each one, because I feel that's quite important, to be fair. But this is a general thank you as well. You know, I had a good day. I spent the day with my mother because she had got the day off. And we started by going out to Knaresborough. And we had a McMuffin breakfast. And we had it in Lido, which is lovely, which is a lovely little area, sort of designated really for a caravan park, but there's a right of way in terms of footpath through there, you see, so it's not exactly private property and people do use it. And then we went to the allotment and we started planting the sweet peas. Now there was a frost the day after that and I haven't been back to the allotment yet and I don't want to know if it's killed my sweet peas. I should be very, very annoyed. There is still another wigwam of sweet peas to go in. Hopefully I'll do that Saturday before I go to Rome. Then we had lunch, and we took lunch to a little place in Hookstone Woods. There is parking around there because it's right round the back near the showground, and there's a little pond and there's benches around this pond. So we went there, which was lovely. And then we went off to a garden centre and we decided to go to the nurseries, the council nurseries in fact, and we managed to buy some plants which were quite cheap. Now those plants are actually developed for the displays you see in the town centre. They are extremely high quality plants, okay, and they're sold at ridiculous prices, ridiculously low prices, because the council accidentally breed too many of them and then want to get rid of the leftovers. But they are probably at least proper garden centre quality. I mean, these are the plants that you see on display, and they really do have very good flowers. You know, we've won awards for the blooms, those displays before. So I got some of them, and then we went to Harlow Car Gardens and had a look around there, because that was a nice way to sort of end the day. And then we parted ways, and met up again later on in the evening after it had gone dark in town, and we had a family sort of get together, obviously a meal, and that's when I got my gifts. A lot of the gifts this year have been money, because obviously I need to sort myself out for Rome. So I did say, you know, I didn't manage to produce any birthday lists, and that was largely because I was messing around with this immersion heater, which is thankfully sorted out now. You know, it was just the timer after all, and once the timer was removed, the immersion heater started working. But that did take up quite a little bit of time, I suppose you could say. Thank goodness it didn't take up money as well. Well, not much anyway. And then obviously there was the bird trip, and we have lost a couple of birds, which generally happens when you let them all into, you know, you expect to lose one or two, and there was fun and games there when, in fact, one of the birds actually escaped, got out of the aviary when I was trying to ring them. That was a starfinch, and I had to go round to my neighbours, and we took about 2 hours trying to capture this 2 centimetre squared bird from flying away completely. I had a net, so you know, it wasn't as funny as it sounds. You know, I wasn't jumping up trying to grab it out of the air or anything like that. And of course, this week we've just started breeding season. And yesterday night, when I went in on the first day, only one of the pairs had moved into the nest. The rest was still on the rail. You know, it takes them a little bit to understand what they're supposed to do. But anyway, so the next part of this week has to be focused on sorting out the Romania Turner trip. It is basically done. I've got all the documentation I need. Although I have to say, I've never travelled in this age of, you know, e-tickets before and stuff like that. But we'll see how that goes. Really, it's now about getting the currency changed, and then I suppose packing. So you know, it's I love being on holiday, but it's lots to do, crack on sort of thing. And then yes. So, now that I've completely exhausted myself, and despite having a lie-in this morning, feel like I need to go back to bed, I'll say goodbye.